These are for you. I'm starting off by giving you your flowers, and you know why? Because you've accomplished a lot this year, and you're going to accomplish even more next year because you surrendered, you gave it to God, and you learned how to be healthier through surrendering, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today. And the first thing that you have to decide is who you're surrendering to. So when you surrender, you're giving in, you're giving up. But what are you giving up to? You don't want to surrender to anything that's not going to have the very best interest for you. So the only thing you're going to want to surrender to is God. We're starting there, okay? You have to be very intentional with that, because if you just give up, you see people who just give up, and when they give up, it's not to God, and then they fall into a bunch of stuff. They fall into depression. But when you give in and you give it to God, you allow God to be in control, and only good things are going to come from that. The first way you're going to improve your health and wellness by surrendering is to stop trying to calculate the possibility of a good thing. When you think about a great thing that could happen, right? Or if you get a feeling, like a bubbly feeling inside, and it feels like a good thing is coming, stop stopping yourself from receiving that, because there's a reason why that has been put inside of you, whether it's a desire or something that you see repeatedly in your life. For example, I am starting to be around more women who are in relationships, who are even married. I'm at that age now. There's people in relationship, there's people who are married, there's people who have children. And for me, seeing that and being in a single season where I have not even been entertaining men because of dealing with my things to deal with, I now see, okay, God wants me to be in a relationship. I have to surrender to that now. And what I'm not going to do is say, oh, but this, how am I going to do this if this? I'm trying to calculate the possibility of this good thing happening for me. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that, because that's blocking me from my confidence. That's making me have a low self-esteem. If I'm trying to just work out every step of the way, I'm not going to say only, because it's possible that you work out every step of the way and then you find yourself feeling happy, but usually, or getting to that result, but usually it doesn't happen the way that you want it to, or the way that you see it. So calculating it every step of the way, and then you get to one step that doesn't look like what you planned, and now all of a sudden your self-esteem goes down, right? Because you haven't surrendered to the way that God wants you to do this. And when your self-esteem goes down, your health goes down. People who are more beautiful or perceive themselves that way, they are healthier people. There's studies about women who feel more beautiful, and so they're more social, and sociability relates to longevity. People who live longer, who have healthier bodies and live longer, they are social. So when you feel beautiful, when you feel confident, that allows you to move differently in the world and be in more community, which is a huge part of health. So when you allow yourself to just simply receive the good thing and not calculate the possibility or try to work it out, you're increasing your confidence. Simplify your ask and get specific. So for me, right, with this marriage thing and this relationship thing, I'm going to get clear on what it is that I desire, so that there's no ambiguity, there's no questions. I want to meet and marry the man whose rib I was made from. Okay. And if you know the Bible story about Adam and Eve, Eve was made from Adam's rib. That's why I said the rib thing. I'm going to simplify my ask, get very specific, and leave it at that. That way I don't have to calculate the possibility or think about like what does he look like or no. I simplified my ask. I know what it is. I know it's coming. That's going to increase my confidence, which is going to boost my health and wellness. The second thing that you're going to do to surrender to improve your health and wellness is listen to those light bulb moments and see it through to completion. All right, so listen to those bright ideas. You don't get these bright ideas for no reason. I create content. So when I get an idea in my mind, I'm not just going to let it sit and go away and dissipate. I immediately go to my notes, and then I have that idea for content later. God gave you that bright idea. Okay, you're surrendering to God. That bright idea came to God. You know it's a bright idea that came from God when it's righteous, when it's a good thing, when it's going to help people, when it's something Jesus would do. And this is going to improve your health and wellness because it's allowing you to connect your mind and your body. This is a way to improve your mindfulness. This is a way to improve your cognition. When you have an idea that's bright, it's creating a spark in you, and you have to build to be able to see it in real life. You're taking the idea out of your head, out of your mind, and putting it into real life. That takes work. That takes some mental fortitude. This also improves your confidence, but this is going to strengthen your neuroplasticity. This is going to create pathways that make you know that you're that guy, that you're that person who can get things done. Follow your bright ideas. They came to you for a reason. If it keeps popping up, follow it. Follow it. There are, for example, right, I'll use myself. Love using myself as an example. Sacrifice myself. Okay. So I have been having this idea in my mind to post more fitness content, like me working out and transforming my body for a while. And I hesitated because I wasn't going to the gym as much as I should have. I've been doing more home workouts. But this bright idea came to me because, one, if I'm going to be an example for people to look at for health and wellness, best believe the body has to be on point. Okay, so this is going to hold me accountable to reach a level of fitness that is inspiring to others, inspiring to myself to keep going. Now, my body is fine, right? But it can be better. Always can be improved. Always can be better. So this bright idea is going to hold me accountable. It's going to inspire others. It's like, oh, this is a good thing. If I don't act on that, I'm not surrendering to God. This idea is going to go to waste. My body might, like this might be, God might have given me the idea because this is the way for me to reach a certain state, to reach a certain thing. And if I don't do it, and I'm not surrendering, and I'm not listening, I'm not allowing God to do his thing, it's going to take away from the things that I want to see. This is going to take away from my potential. No, we're not doing it. The third thing you're going to do to surrender is humble yourself. If you think that you can do it all by yourself, you need to humble yourself. You're making yourself an idol. You think you know everything. You don't. And you have to accept that. You know a lot of things. You're good at a lot of things. You have your expertise. You solved certain problems. But you don't know everything. So humble yourself. And you're not going to know the way for everything. And this involves getting help. Allowing other people in. Telling people the things that you would like to do. To create a space where they can support you. Whether that be verbally or physically. Help you to do whatever it is that you want to do. You need God to move through you. If you keep making yourself an idol, you're going to fall flat on your face. It's just not going to work. Okay? And if you need help, I offer one-on-one private wellness and mindset coaching. Okay? Because we all need help. Humble yourself. Sometimes you need people to see your blind spots so that you can patch them up, because you can't see your blind spot, but someone else can. Okay? And this is going to improve your health and wellness because you're going to be able to go from one level to the next. Okay, people who are always improving, they're healthy people because they have a growth mindset. When things start to deteriorate, when things start to go wrong, it's because you don't have a growth mindset. You're shrinking. And if you're not expanding, you are shrinking. We need help with expansion. Expansion cannot be done alone. You have to seek other people. You have to humble yourself sometimes, put yourself into spaces where you're not the best, where you're not you don't have the most money. You're not the smartest. Okay, this allows you to expand. It allows you to see what's possible. All right, and this helps you grow. And this literally will extend into other areas. I put myself in a gym where there's people who are ripped. I see them. That directly correlates to my health and wellness, because now I got to step my game up. I got to get more fit because all these people around me are super fit. That's only going to make me want to achieve that. Okay, and it's expanding me, growing my mind. Lastly, you're going to surrender by paying close attention to those moments where it feels like you're lost with no direction and your faith is shaking. Okay, if you feel lost with no direction and your faith is shaking, this is probably the hardest thing to do with surrendering, but you need to be happy. Find a way to be happy there. This is why. It's because that feeling only means that you are about to go to the next level. Okay? It only means that you're about to shift gears, you're about to pivot, and there's something greater that's coming. And sometimes God has to put you in that dark space so that you can build something. Think about it. A baby's born in the belly, in the womb. That's a dark place. Things get born in dark places. So if you're in a dark place where you're lost, it's okay. And there's things that you can do to get out of that. First thing you need to do is count it all joy. Be happy. Because now you know, oh, something great is coming. Also, see what's around that's causing this darkness. It could just be you doubting yourself. Find ways to get rid of that doubt. Whether it has to be journaling, writing down affirmations, actually saying affirmations over yourself, speaking life over yourself. There's experiments out there with water and showing how water holds memory, how different sounds and different frequencies can actually affect the shape of water, how it goes. And if our bodies are like 50, 60, 70% water, what do you think happens when you say positive things over yourself that have a positive frequency? It changes your body chemistry. So that's something that you can do to get out of this dark place where you feel lost. Another thing, if you're feeling lost, you have to give God, put God first so that he can establish your thoughts and your actions. Okay? If there's no thoughts or actions, you don't know where to go, you're not putting God first. Okay? And that's you're not going to achieve peak health and wellness. Okay? And if you don't know the definition of health and wellness, I'm going to give you my definition. All right. So let's start with health. Health is accurate assessment plus action. What is accurate assessment? That means you're accurately assessing these 4 areas in your life: emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental. Okay, you're accurately assessing where you are in these things, right? If it's like, oh, I've been biting my nails, maybe that's like physical health. I need to stop doing that. That's where the plus action comes in. You need to stop biting your nails. Okay, you're making moves toward that. Maybe I'm painting my nails with something that tastes really nasty, so that when I bite them, it just tastes nasty. So accurate assessment plus action equals health. Now, if you were biting your nails and you're moving toward not biting them, you're getting healthier, right? And this is just one example of physical health. There's also emotional health. There's also mental health. And there's also spiritual health. Okay, so this is my definition of health. And I have a live video that I will link for you to really understand more about this, it's called What Does Wellness Really Mean? Now let's talk about wellness. Wellness, you're a well person, you've achieved wellness when it's like we're just gonna work with it. You've achieved wellness when you are healthy in all 4 of those areas, okay? Mental, spiritual, physical, emotional. So that means you're accurately assessing and taking action in those 4 areas. That's when you're well. You can be well today. As long as you're taking action, you're seeing where you might be missing something, and then you're taking action towards getting better. This is where having a mentor, having a coach comes in, because you need to see those blind spots. It can be something as simple as the way that you speak. You might apologize a lot when you speak, and it could be so ingrained in you that you don't know that you're doing it. But when you're speaking to someone whose intention is to show up and say, hey, I noticed this thing about you. Here's how we can work on that to help you become a person who's more confident and less apologetic. That's how I can help you achieve a healthier life, a happier life. Okay, so that's my definition of health and wellness. Be happy in these times. I mentioned 2 ways that you can achieve more happiness, which is the affirmations, getting the coaching. If you're feeling you're lost, it might be because you're being, most of the time it's probably because you're being attacked. Sometimes the devil is attacking, and he's going to attack through you, right? Like, you are the one who allows him to attack, unfortunately. So unless you're literally being attacked by an outside force, but when it comes to like your mind, that's where he can penetrate, as in the devil, and you don't want that. So it could be a bad habit that you need to get rid of. It could be also a person who is influencing you, because what happens when we're around other people, we entrain off of them, which means that we basically sync up with them and reach a equilibrium. So if you're around someone who consistently gossips, you're going to have to reach an equilibrium with them if you keep them in your life. So you might start to gossip a little bit, and that could be making you feel bad, because that might not be a part of your purpose, might not be a part of your plan. In those times, in those dark times, be happy. I think that's the hardest part, because it can feel so daunting, like scary. I don't know how I'm going to make it out. But when you surrender, you put God first, it's like, oh, I know what he's doing already. I know what he's doing. And if you need a reminder, come back to this video. If you need a reminder in a dark time that God's working on you, come back to this video. Okay? And I have another video I made sort of adjacent to this about the law of attachment. It's called Stop Scaring the Hoes, and that will be explained in the video. So I will link that in the description for you. Just a reminder, coaching link will be in the description for you. You will have to fill out an application first to see if we're going to be a good fit. And here's how you can be healthy, okay? Remember, I gave you your flowers. I want to see some good things from you in 2026 because you surrendered, all right? Stay golden.